Hey everybody, it is Bendy Mark here and I am back with another video. I am coming to you officially 10 months locked. Yeah, that went by really fast. I know, I think I said in the beginning of this journey that I was going to be updating month to month. I lied. I actually think that I have been doing so much better with this journey the second time around, primarily because I'm just really not obsessed with my hair the way that I was with my first set of locks. And I think my obsession with my locks the first time around was understandable because it was new, it was exciting. Everything that I was seeing with my hair and how it was changing, I was seeing for the first time. Now that I'm on set number 2, it is, I don't want to say less exciting, but all of these things I've seen before, and I'm actually more inclined to just like let my hair do its thing without me being like, ooh, what's this thing happening? I gotta film it and blah, blah, blah. So the highlights are my locks are thickening up. They're doing really, really well. They've gotten so much fatter from when I did my final combining, so to speak. When I went, I had originally 722, then I had like 563, and then I went down to 240. And when I went to 240, you could see that very obvious 2-strand twist pattern. That's pretty much gone. My locks, they still have some plumping to go, but that pattern is essentially gone. I also have other positive news that I really think that God may have really helped me with my coveting problem as far as lock envy is concerned. I totally love seeing other people's locks, Queen Aleem, Tykera Ann, all the rest, beautiful Microlocs, and I fully admire their hair while loving my locks no less. Like, I am so happy with my locks, and I'm glad that I'm in a place where I can really appreciate other people's hair and still completely love my own, and it feels good to be in that space. I'm just kind of like the maintenance upkeep. I do not brush my ends anymore. I have found that brushing at this stage causes a little amount of breakage. I brushed my hair for probably like the first time in like 2 or 3 months, and I didn't have like whole strands of hair falling out, but I did have like little tiny pieces of hair that just kind of like showered the sink. The sink, and I was like, okay. I'm gonna stop doing that. I noticed that even when I am like manipulating my hair and moving it around, I get no shedding, but when I run a brush through it, I do get little amounts of breakage. So I may address that by doing some deep conditioning on the relaxed ends only, not the locks, just to add a little bit of strength and moisture, because I really haven't been doing anything by way of moisture for my relaxed ends. I've just been washing my hair, coating it in coconut oil, and that's it. I think it might need a little bit more than that, so I will probably do that every now and then. Also, I switched back to interlocking from palm rolling. I really love the palm rolled roots look. I love it, or I should say the twisted roots. However, I needed more flexibility when it came to my washes. My scalp starts feeling like it needs to be cleaned between the 10 and 14 day mark, and so that's about every 2 weeks. And for a lot of people, washing and twisting their hair every 2 weeks is fine. For me, that's a little bit too much manipulation. I don't want to be like messing around with my roots that often, and I just don't like the way that my roots look fresh out of the shower without being groomed in some way. I think it really looks a little strange when I have like afro roots and then like relaxed ends and then I got locks. Like it's just too much going on. So I switched back to interlocking, and that's given me a lot more freedom to be able to wash my hair as needed and not necessarily need to do any messing around with my roots. I think it's interesting. So at the 10-month mark, I think if I can, I'd like to do a side-by-side of my locks now at 10 months versus 10 months the first go around, and see how different or similar they look. I am just really loving, I just like it. I like the size. I like everything about it. Like the plumpness of them. They're starting to get thicker, and I just love it. I'm so happy. Oh, also, I still had some bunching, and the exact same spots that I had bunching in my first set of locks, and I've come to the conclusion that that's my hair, y'all. Because even when I was a loose natural, the hair at the crown of my head, which is where I've had bunching both times for my sets of locks, is looser than the rest of my hair. The majority of my hair is a pretty standard 4A type curl pattern, but at the crown it's almost like 3C. Almost at the crown it's almost 3C. Like I remember when I had first gone natural, it was so loose here that I thought, I'm like, did I get heat damage on the top of my head? And then like years later I understood, like, it wasn't heat damage, it's just the hair at my crown is looser than the hair elsewhere, and I think that looser hair kind of tends towards bunchings, because I've got bunching in the same exact spot in both journeys. But anyway, it doesn't bother me. I don't think, like, I think that given how it worked out the first time around, that's gonna smooth out on its own, and so I'm not really worried about it. Doesn't bother me at all. But outside of that, there isn't much else going on with my hair. My locks are doing really well. I love taking care of other people's locks for them now. I started my business, and I've been maintaining people's hair, and I really like it. I really enjoy working with people's locks, and I'm looking forward to expanding, because right now I'm working on just Sisterlocks, Microlocs, and small locks. In the future, I would love to be able to expand to traditional size locks as well, and be able to offer people services to like wash their hair, because I'm realizing like washing locks can be a daunting task for, especially if you have like thick locks or you have really long locks, or both thick and long. It can be really difficult to wash, and so I really, from just a standpoint of wanting to help, I want to be able to offer that service to people, to give them like a really deep clean. I love cleanness. But anyways, thank you guys for tuning in. I will see you next time.